Earthscraper, the city beneath the earth. This is an Earthscraper, a 65-floor building built not above the ground, but beneath it. Unlike skyscrapers that pierce the sky, this one dives into the earth, as if someone took a skyscraper, flipped it upside down, and buried it deep into the ground. But soon these Earthscrapers might actually become our homes. This is one of the world's most beautiful cities, and personally, one of my favorites, the city of love, Paris. But do you know how much it costs to buy a home here? On average, going on $1,250 per square foot. Take this one, for instance. A rather average Paris apartment, only 498 square feet, selling for $1 million. But here's the most interesting part. In Paris, 26 out of every 100 flats sit empty. Because of this, within just 105 square kilometers, over 20,000 people live per square kilometer. And even those earning 2.9 lakh rupees a month can't afford to buy these multi-crore homes. They live in small rented flats instead. Now in France, like in many European cities, you'll notice there are hardly any tall skyscrapers. That's because of strict bylaws that protect the historical character of these cities. But that makes real estate space even more premium. And on the other hand, look at this. The very center of France lying practically empty. And this isn't just a Paris problem. London, Barcelona, Munich, Stockholm, the world's top cities are all becoming unaffordable. The prices keep going up, says one woman. We had to cut down on food, on biscuits for the children. Even take second jobs. It's not easy. Cities are becoming so overcrowded that in Tokyo, with a population of 40 million, they've literally hired professional pushers to shove people into trains during rush hour. Mumbai is also home to Dharavi, one of the world's largest slums, where 3.5 lakh people live in a single square kilometer. Across the world, conditions have gotten so bad that official United Nations data shows 2.8 billion people, about 40% of the world's population, are either homeless or living in substandard conditions. That's why many experts don't call it a housing crisis anymore. They call it a global housing emergency, because according to the UN, within the next 25 years, another 2.5 billion people will move into cities, which means soon 70% of the world's population will be living in urban areas. But land is limited. So how do we deal with this global problem? The birth of the Earthscraper. Back in 2009, Mexico City faced a similar challenge. This is Zocalo Square, a vast 240 by 240 meter open plaza at the very heart of the city. It's a space deeply tied to Mexico's history, culture, and politics. In the 15th century, the Spanish invader Hernán Cortés defeated the Aztecs right here and established his capital above their ruins. Even today, remains of ancient Aztec civilization still lie beneath this ground. But now Mexico City has become one of the most densely populated areas in the world. During festivals, millions of people gather here. But space to live? That's extremely limited. And since this is a historical area, no building taller than 8 floors can be constructed. So a question arose. How can you house thousands more people in a city that has no space left? The answer came from Esteban Suarez, the creative founder of BNKR Arquitectura, a young, innovative architecture firm. He said, if we can't go up, we'll go down. He proposed building a 65-floor inverted pyramid right under Zocalo Square, a new kind of structure called the Earthscraper. In 2011, he presented a complete 3D model at a skyscraper competition, one that cleverly addressed every major challenge. When I first saw that design, I thought, this is what it means to truly think out of the box. 0 to 1 thinking. I had to make a video about it. Inside the Earthscraper, here's how it works. Above ground, the square remains completely open, covered with a flat glass surface. That allows people to walk freely, host public events, even build parks. Beneath it lies the inverted pyramid, 65 floors deep, built around a massive central light well. That hollow space lets sunlight travel all the way down, illuminating every layer naturally. So 4 big problems are solved instantly. 1. Sunlight reaches deep underground. 2. The ground surface stays usable for public life. 3. The structure gets balanced light and ventilation. 4. The space feels human, not claustrophobic. The first 10 floors would serve as museums and cultural centers, displaying ancient Aztec artifacts found during excavation. This way, no cultural or historical sentiment is hurt. In fact, it could become Mexico's #1 historic attraction. According to Esteban, if this project succeeds, we could build entire underground networks of such buildings. A parallel underground city using vertical land smartly. Just imagine, no more endless city traffic. In cities like Mumbai, driving 5 kilometers during rush hour can take 45 minutes. But underground city hubs could be connected in minutes. A perfect solution to the global housing crisis, urban congestion, and future overpopulation. A vision of a sustainable, fast, future-ready world. But there's a problem: the challenge of building underground. No one has ever built something like this before. Do we even have the technology, engineering, and architectural capability to construct a 300-meter deep underground megastructure? Can such a structure survive earthquakes, especially in a quake-prone country like Mexico? In 2017, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake killed at least 248 people in central Mexico. So how can something so deep underground remain safe? Let's break it down. From a pure physics and engineering perspective, to understand how the Earthscraper could actually be built. Step 1. Securing the perimeter. Construction would start not by digging a massive hole, but by creating strong perimeter walls. If we just dug a pit, the surrounding soil would collapse inward due to lateral earth pressure. The same reason the world's deepest hole in Russia had to be abandoned at 15 kilometers depth. Plus, Mexico City's soil is mostly clayey and waterlogged. It sits on an old lake bed, meaning there's still a lot of trapped groundwater underneath. That's why the first step would be to build thick diaphragm walls about 2 meters thick to resist both land and water pressure. Only after the perimeter is secure can the inner structure safely begin. Step 2. Laying the foundation. Next, engineers would install massive load-bearing piles and columns from the surface down to 300 meters deep. These slightly slanted columns would anchor into bedrock, forming the strong skeletal frame for the pyramid. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of such piles would be installed around the central light well to provide both support and stability. Step 3. Top-down construction. Unlike skyscrapers that rise from bottom to top, the Earthscraper would be built top-down. After the core columns are ready, engineers would pour reinforced concrete to form horizontal beams and floors step by step, gradually moving downward. As each layer is completed above, bit by bit, a living, breathing structure would take shape, descending into the earth. Step 4. Light, life, and safety. The central light well would remain open, bringing natural sunlight down and maintaining air circulation through smart ventilation systems. The design also includes green spaces, community areas, and temperature-regulated zones to make life underground feel natural, not artificial. But here's the twist. As futuristic as this concept sounds, underground cities aren't new. Ancient underground worlds. In 1963, in Turkey's Cappadocia region, archaeologists discovered a breathtaking ancient structure, an entire underground civilization. It wasn't a single building or even one city, but a network of over 200 connected cities stretching 18 stories deep. The largest of them, Derinkuyu, could house over 20,000 people. It had living quarters, temples, stables, even schools, and ingenious ventilation shafts that kept temperatures stable between 16 to 18 degrees Celsius. Without any modern technology, this was built over 3,200 years ago. When I saw videos from travelers exploring these tunnels, I was stunned. How did they do this? It just goes on and on. It's proof that even ancient civilizations understood the value of going underground for safety, sustainability, and survival. Modern examples. Finland's underground world. Let's come back to the present. Finland, the world's happiest country 8 years in a row. And one surprising reason for that happiness? A 293-kilometer-long underground city right beneath its capital, Helsinki. 15 floors deep, this subterranean network has everything. Roads, railways, emergency shelters, playgrounds, swimming pools, even ice hockey arenas. It can house 1.5 times the city's population for months if needed. Originally built during the Cold War, as protection from Soviet nuclear threats, the Finnish government later realized how useful it was. By 2007, they declared it one of their smartest decisions ever and began expanding it even further. Today, half of Helsinki's infrastructure runs underground. Roads, data centers, water systems, even district heating and cooling plants. Above ground, clear skies and open roads. Below, an invisible, efficient city humming quietly. Finland turned its geological disadvantage, hard bedrock, into its greatest asset. That's the power of thinking differently.